Are you tired of taking medications for your aches and pains? Maybe you thought about taking CBD products, but you have some questions.
Well, we've got the 1, 2, 3's of CBD. And this is Chick to Chick. Listen, we all have a lot of aches and pains.
Who does?
We all know I turned 50 not that long ago, right?
Oh, my goodness.
And I'll get some joint pains and aches and pains. But in all seriousness, usually you're, trying to put a ibuprofen in your face or you're, doing something else. And nowadays there are a lot of other things that you can do. Also, I am finding people who are having problems with sleep are also not as interested in pharmaceuticals. So this is getting me to the reason why a lot of people are leaning into the CBD idea. However, I don't think many people understand it enough. They get a little nervous.
Yep.
They think they have to have, a medical marijuana card because they think it's that direction. They don't know that there's options like, I've done just like topicals.
Yep.
So there's a lot of different things that are out there with CBD.
Well, it's confusing because as you said, people are scared. They're thinking, oh, CBD is laced with the same stuff that marijuana is laced with.
Am I going to get high as a kite?
Right. And then you go into a store and there's all these different products and questions and you don't know what you need. And then all of these websites selling products online. It's very, very confusing.
Overwhelming.
Yeah. Which leads us to our guest today, my big brother, Adrian Pastorero. He has a CBD wellness store that he sells these products. Disclaimer here, we are not here to sell any of his products. If you want to buy them, that's fine. But he's really here to offer some information and to just answer any questions that we might have about CBD. So, yo, Adrian!
Hey.
Who's going to do that?
Okay, you do it.
Yo, Adrian! Thank you.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
You haven't heard that a gazillion times. So
just a couple times.
Yeah, just a couple of times. Hey, let's start with the basics. I've asked you this. I don't even understand. There's like full spectrum, broad spectrum, this spectrum, CBD. What does that stuff mean?
Sure. Yeah. So in the CBD world, like if you go online, it can be really confusing for the average person going in there. And so when you look at breaking down full spectrum, broad spectrum, so basically a full spectrum product, like the CBD product actually the hemp plant has over 100 cannabinoids in it. So CBD is one of them, but THC is also another, but they're also, up to 100 more. So when you say a product is full spectrum, it means it contains CBD, it contains the other cannabinoids, but it also contains THC. So for some people, that are subject to drug testing at work, whatnot, like they can't have that. So now a broad spectrum product has everything except for the THC. Now at the CBD wellness store, we sell all broad spectrum products because a lot of our customers are elderly, they're professionals, they can't have THC or they just don't want to have that. So that's the difference.
And just to be clear, THC, that's the stuff that's in marijuana.
Right.
So just to point that out.
Yeah.
Correct.
So then there's also like the different forms of CBD that you can take.
Yeah.
Explain those too.
Sure. Yeah. And you know what? That's one of the things that we really pride ourselves when people come into our store. We're really all about education. Like we want to help customers understand the difference in the products and then help them select the best product for their specific issue. So like we have in our store, we have a lot of elderly customers that come in. And for an elderly customer, we have something called CBD soft gels. And they're made with something called nano-emulsion technology. So it basically allows the human body to absorb 200% more versus like, say, a CBD gummy. Mm-hmm. So again, a customer that has chronic pain, an elderly customer, or even a younger customer, these CBD soft gels are what we typically are going to recommend because they're so effective. And in fact, this particular one I'm holding up, it's CBD with curcumin. And curcumin is an additional natural anti-inflammatory. And we sell more of this than anything because our customers get really good results with it.
You brought up something about the elderly with aches and pains and inflammation. And, you know what happened with Mom, which I was really, really upset. My mom has had hip pain for a long time. She broke her hip and she was on a narcotic. She was on tramadol for 7 years.
That's awful.
And I was furious, like, you cannot be on this. This is an opioid. Get her off. She's not taking that. And I know you have her on CBD products. What are you giving Mom now for her hip pain?
She actually uses the soft gel with curcumin. And then she also uses, we have this topical product that is a what we call a sport cream. It has menthol and camphor, so it has a cooling action when you put it on, and I believe it helps penetrate the tissue to deliver the CBD deeper. And so she uses a combination to manage her pain. And so, like you said, she's been off opioids, which is wonderful, and she's managing her pain with these two products.
Yeah, I was furious.
I was
furious.
I have to tell you too, that really is important for people to understand how important those topicals can be to get you off of the pharmaceuticals and out of your cabinet. Yeah, because I had that with some joint pain, and I put it on there, and I could not believe it. I don't have to take anything anymore. So, I mean, it is good stuff. So, okay, so there's another thing that there's questions about. It's, should the CBD products be third-party lab tested? What's that mean?
Yeah. So, that's a great point that you bring up. Any product that is like a really legitimate product is going to have something called a QR code on the bottle. So you probably can't see it here, but you can scan the code with your phone. And it's going to take you directly to the lab report. And what it's going to show you, that if you're paying for 500 milligrams of CBD, it'll show that that's exactly what's in the bottle, but it'll also show that there are no pesticides, and also no THC. So I've got nurses that shop here. We've got CDL truck drivers, and they come in and they're like really, really adamant, hey, this could affect my job. And, we tell them that, look, there's the QR code. You can go to the lab report. You can see. And typically for THC, it's going to say MD, which means not detected. So very important. If it's not on the bottle, you should question the product. And do more research before you buy it. The best CBD products are going to have the QR codes that link to the lab reports.
Okay, now this is what I really need to know.
Yes.
I have fur children. Some people call them dogs. They are my fur children.
They are her kids.
They are the kids. They're my kids. Especially we had a dog that passed away not that long ago, and she had such bad joint pain. And I wish I knew better ways to help her. So I'm hoping now you can give me some insight. So when the dogs I have now, if they have any aches and pains, can we do something similar for them? Are they okay to have any products like this?
So our furry friends have the same endocannabinoid system that we humans have.
Okay.
And we do have pet products. So we have dog treats, and we also have pet oil that's good for dogs and cats. But I have a number of customers that they have older pets that are starting to have arthritis, and they've been helped, and they said their mobility has increased. One customer in particular had a dog that used to jump up on its paws on the countertop and sneak a piece of cheese. And the customer said the dog couldn't do that anymore. Yeah. But she said, the good news is after the CBD, the dog is able to do that again. So, just one cute example of a customer that had a success story with using the product.
You know what? I don't think you know this, but your nephew, my son, is giving CBD to Tilly because they shoot off a lot of fireworks where he lives.
Yeah.
And she's freaking out all the time over these and scurrying to get back to the apartment. So he's trying to calm her down. And he's been giving her CBD gummies.
I just have a funny face for Tilly.
Even pets that have separation anxiety, CBD can help to calm them down where they're not freaking out if their owner leaves the house type of thing.
Or travel. That's a big one. My one dog freaks out with travel. That would be really good with her.
Yeah, it helps to calm them down so they're more relaxed during the trip.
So when you take these products, whether, the gummies or the tinctures or whatever, how long does it take for me to notice that my aches and pains have gone away?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So, normally if people have stress and anxiety, we normally will recommend a little bottle like this. It's called a tincture. And the customer will put the oil under their tongue and they hold it there for a minute or two. The oil absorbs to the capillaries under the tongue directly into the bloodstream. And most people feel a calming effect within, say, 5 to 10 minutes. So, and most customers will feel this right away. Now, when we're talking about the soft gels, so customers that have chronic pain, it can take up to 7 days. CBD will need to build up in their system. Uh-huh. And I actually take these curcumin soft gels as well in my own personal experience, because I had some aching in my feet. It took about, on the 6th day, I started to really notice the difference where it wasn't keeping me awake at night and I could go to sleep right away.
Yeah, we talk a lot about Lyme disease because it's been in our family. And I know that a lot of people who have certain diseases that have chronic pain or chronic fatigue, they turn to CBD. But do you talk about a cure when you're talking about taking CBD, cure for any diseases?
No, you really can't. And, we normally tell that it's going to help reduce the symptoms. It's not going to cure anything, but it does, like for the example, the example of my mom, it can help to, help her manage her pain. So her pain's not going to totally go away, but it just helps her to live a more comfortable life. Any company that is promoting on their website that, this is going to cure anxiety, actually the FDA doesn't even really allow you to say any kind of a medical condition. So any company that is saying anxiety, pain, those companies are typically, I would question whether they're legit or not, because the FDA does not really allow them to promote their products.
Yeah, that's a good red flag. Yeah. And you brought that up, that you can't make that claim. Are there any other red flags that we should be looking for if you go to buy something online or even in the store?
The two are going to be the making medical claims, mm-hmm. and then the second one is going to be if they don't show that their products are laboratory tested. Those are going to be the two key red flags that you kind of want to look for a different product if you see that, or if you don't see it, you don't see the QR code.
Okay. And what about any side effects?
Yeah, so CBD, the only side effects, and this is going to be like in really high concentration, it can be like sleepiness. And again, in very high doses, it could be diarrhea, like a patient could have a symptom like that. But as far as like interactions with other medications, like anytime a customer comes in, I always ask, do you have are you taking any blood thinners, or do any of your medications have any kind of grapefruit restrictions? If they do, it doesn't mean that they can't take CBD, but I always tell them, I'm happy to sell you something today, but I really would feel more comfortable if you talk to your doctor or your pharmacist to make sure that the CBD is not going to have an interaction. Once you do that, I want to make sure you're comfortable taking the product and that it's going to be safe and effective for you.
This has been wonderful.
I'll say.
I spared him because I told him I was going to throw him under the bus of all the bad things he did to me as a child, and then I was going to get him back. Mm-hmm. But I spared him. And, we said this at the top of the podcast. We're not here to sell your products, but if people want to get in touch with you or buy your products, can they call you? What's the number and what's your website?
Yeah. So the phone number, and we're happy to consult with people over the phone if they have questions, because going out on the web and searching can be confusing.
Yeah.
But they can call us at 412-347-2478. And our website is CBD Wellness Store PA for the state of Pennsylvania.com. And if somebody wants to go online, we actually have, for new customers, they can save 15% on their first order if they sign up for our newsletter. And we don't spam people. It's, it's just we push information out, useful information periodically.
Good stuff, Adrian. I'm glad that she was kind to you. I knew it was going to be just fine. But thank you so much for coming on and letting everyone know the 1, 2, 3's of CBD. Thank you.
Thanks, brother. Thank you. I just want to add this. In the winter, my eyes get so dry and red, and they burn and they water. And I use this CBD salve.
Oh.
Yeah. I just put it on the corner of my eye, and I'm telling you, I have no problems. The burning goes away. Wow. The dryness goes away. and it's wonderful. So I can attest to this product. So this works for me.
All good things. Hey, we hope you learned a lot. We are certainly glad that you were with us today. Head over to Chick to Chick USA on our YouTube channel and like and subscribe. And we will be back when we're chirping about another topic.
And he did beat me up as a child.
Okay, but he's nice now.
Don't tell him.